Good afternoon. This is the Arches Canyon in the Arhal Mountains, and I'm going to break here to talk some anime. Project Blue Earth SOS is a throwback sci-fi anime OVA series, an alien invasion scenario set in some parallel world where fashion is stuck in the 1950s. It's released in North America by ADV Films. The set of 6 OVAs has a pretty large cast. First, before the titles even roll, we meet Dr. Briest. He's a classic white lab coat wearing scientist. He's created a new propulsion system, the Jii reaction engine, for high-speed travel. The test flight of the new plane goes well, but before that plane can return to base, it has a close encounter with something that doesn't appear on ground radar. The pilot describes rainbow-colored lights and then a saucer, and then the plane disappears from radar. Now we jump forward a few years and we get to meet the real cast of the series. The Jii reaction drive now powers planes, trains, automobiles, and ships all over the world. Except several of the latest transport systems using this system have disappeared on their maiden voyage amid rainbow-colored lights. Introducing Billy, a child genius and heir to a large industrial fortune. Since he was going to own the company that makes all these Jii drive devices, he's pretty interested in what's going on with their disappearance. Penny is a scientific prodigy who's also interested in these disappearances. He'll soon meet and become a collaborator with Billy. Penny has a dog, Washington, who's smarter than Lassie. Lotta is Dr. Briest's daughter and Billy's friend. She's the classic helpless little girl. She faints frequently, like all sophisticated 1950s women did. Lotta may be a reference to a 1950s comic book character, Little Lotta, though they don't look alike. I think she's the reason ADV decided to dub Dr. Briest's name as Briest and not Breast as it is in the Japanese soundtrack. I think they just didn't want an 11-year-old girl named Lotta Breast. But how do I know? Maybe that's what the Japanese creators intended. Emily is Lotta's bodyguard and nanny and friend. She totes a pistol, drives like a maniac, and she's always around Lotta. In this scene, all 4 of those characters are going to meet at the unveiling of a new Jii reaction-powered train. Guess what's going to happen?
There's just no telling what could happen this time, is there?
Yeah, I'm aware of those previous accidents. What the? Lotta!
No scene is over until little Lotta faints. Shortly thereafter, a Jii reaction-powered submarine that disappeared some time ago suddenly reappears sitting high and dry in the desert, just like in Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Both Penny and Billy will head there to investigate separately, though they're going to meet there, and without the military's permission, they're going to jump inside to investigate. There they meet a mysterious, ghostly young woman who appears before the voice, spouts some vague, enigmatic prophecy, and then vanishes.
When the comet plunges into the ocean, the reign of the infidel will begin.
Soon it's pretty clear that the various disappearances are caused by the same thing that took the first Jii propulsion jet test flight, aliens and UFOs. Where do they come from? What do they want? Can Earth defend itself? And what's their favorite anime? Billy and Penny are going to try to find out with the help of Dr. Briest and his ever-expanding cast. Although the show takes place at the end of the 20th century, the settings and music have a distinct 1950s retro look, and the tech designs and ray guns all look like people in the 1950s thought technology of the future was going to look like. People listen to radio programs instead of watching TV. Telephones still have wires. Movies are still recorded on film. But it does use a contemporary character art style. The story has the sensibilities of the Hardy Boys meet Space Patrol, and I probably just went and compared it to 2 shows you've never heard of. Okay, the 2 boy geniuses are smarter than all the adults in the world. They find clues by getting into dangerous situations and somehow miraculously escaping at the last second. The good guys build secret bases of unbelievable size and sophistication in underground lairs and access it via secret elevators and hidden dead-end roads. There are magical transmitters, ray guns, and secret decoder rings and spies. Oh, and Dr. Briest can solve any problem, just like Scotty did on the Enterprise, by modulating the tachyon beam frequency in sync with the G propulsion drive flux dispersion frequency. I keep waiting for someone to pull out a Shizma drive. It's very old-style Saturday matinee serial. Maybe you've seen this Phantom Empire?
They're shot down!
It's the rainbow-colored lights!
The old-fashioned look to this series even extends to the opening title designs. The retro look of the backgrounds and setting aside, the animation is pretty ordinary. ADV's dub is rather crude in places. They usually do a better job. I noticed there are a few new voices in the cast this time around. It did improve on the final DVD if you're still using the English track by then. The problem with this series is that it tends to drag and it never creates a big feeling of excitement and tension because we know it's retro and it's going to end up that way. I had sort of the same problem with ADV's other retro cyborg sci-fi adventure 0091. A feeling of nostalgia for the 50s style scenario can't by itself carry me through the entire 4.5 hours of Project Blue Earth SOS. The characters seem too busy to do what they're supposed to do because they're Retro's 50s characters, and they don't engage my emotion. And there are a lot of contrived cliffhangers that are, well, cliffhangers for cliffhanger's sake, but don't excite. It's too retro to be really cool, and it's not over the top enough to be really rollicking fun. I suspect younger viewers lacking a nostalgia for 1950s sci-fi will find it even less entertaining. I do think that the ultimate answer to the alien mystery is sort of interesting, so it has that going forward, a nice conclusion. Overall, I give Project Blue Earth SOS 2.5 stars. ADV has put 2 45-minute OVAs on each of their 3 DVDs, total of 6 OVAs, so that's the same value as if they'd put 4 TV episodes on the same DVD. It's a very bare-bones edition. There are no extras on any of the DVDs beyond the clean opening. Must be hard times at ADV. Thanks for listening.